こんにちは。はい。前回の続き、やっていきたいと思います。まあ、この時間見に来る人いなさそうだけど、まあ、とりあえずね、やっていきたいと思います。前回の続きから、続けるできる。あ、そうやな。ここだよな。で、何すんだったっけ何すんだっけあ、これはちゃう。三角で見たっけ忘れちゃった。どこ行くんだっけな。これか。新しいね、どこバジェットは本当に信用がならない。丸なんだったっけ忘れちゃった。待って。どうだったっけ自分の部屋。202だったかなあ、102だ。102。102、OK。
A nightcap, Monsieur Poirot?
A cup of coffee, Monsieur Fauché. Then I will retire to my new compartment.
I am sure you will find it to be most comfortable.
We have stopped?
Yes, sir. Belgrade Station. If you'd like to go out and get some fresh air, now is the time. The train leaves at 9:15.
No, I see that it is snowing. I will not seek out the fresh air.
Probably a wise decision. May I suggest a chocolate to accompany your coffee? It is produced by my father, the best chocolatier in Switzerland.
I would never refuse a chocolate with such high recommendation.
I know you will enjoy it, and please let me know if there is anything else you require.
フランス人か。バーテンダーで、18歳
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
チョコレートはスイスなのかなどこなんだろう
Everything was perfect. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Is there anything you require, monsieur?
No, merci.
とりあえず10。あ、なんか言ってる。
Why, I thought you'd left us. You said you were getting off at Belgrade.
You misunderstood me.
But, man, your baggage, it's gone.
It has been moved into another compartment, that is all.
Oh, I see.
私の部屋どこあ、ここか。202か。202。
I wish you a good night, Monsieur Poirot.
Good night.
202。
I hope you'll sleep well and that your head will be better in the morning.
It is just the cold. I'm now making myself a cup of tea.
I hope it'll warm you up.
I hope so. Good night.
Well, good night, my dear. What a brave girl. On the other hand, that man there in the next cabin, Monsieur Ratchet, he scares the hell out of me. There's something wrong about that man. My daughter always says I'm very intuitive. When Mama gets a hunch, she's dead right. That's what my daughter says. And I've got a hunch about that man. He's next door to me, and I don't like it. I put my bags against the communicating door last night. I thought I heard him trying the handle. Well, whoever you are, I'm going right to bed to read. Good night.
Good night, madam. Whoever I am?
なんだけど。202。何？ああ。隣の部屋。
Monsieur Ratchet seems very upset.
Mm. あ、いけないんだ、こっち。戻るしかないね。わあ。綺麗な部屋。寝る。
Ah, finally a real bed fit for a king or a very tired detective.
パジャマに着替えてる。で、ここを調べる。
Monsieur Ratchet?
Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé.
Mm. 特に何もない。12時37分。1時15分。45分ぐらいしか。
Good night, madame.
何か問題はないかい？
The train has stopped, Mr. Michel?
We have run into a snowdrift. Heaven knows how long we shall be here. I remember once being snowed in for 7 days.
Where are we?
Between Winkowski and Broad.
Oh la la.
Oh la la.
The American lady?
Yes, don't worry. You'll know how Mrs. Hubbard is. Imagine to yourself the time I have had with her. She insists, but insists, that there is a man in her compartment. Just imagine it, monsieur. In a space of this size, where would he conceal himself? I argue with her. I point out that it is impossible. She insists. She woke up and there was a man there. And how, I ask, did he get out? And leave the door bolted behind him? But she will not listen to reason.
That one does not leave time to listen. It's time for me to go back to bed.
I wish you a good night, monsieur. Or what is left of it.
怪しい。見てるこっちが怪しい。何もないか。1時10分。1時20分なってる。1時40。これ迷惑だな。全然寝れないじゃん。1時46分。わー、雪で止まっとる。
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast. The train still hasn't left.
雪山や。ワックス
Wax to preserve the perfect symmetry of the mustache.
軽量ワックス。
Finest of curling irons for
ア
the
イロンなん
mustache.
だ。へえ。軽量アイロン。
The mustache
Yeah, you're
comb
not-
became unruly knots.
あ、こっちの道を行けるんだ。うん。
The train is completely trapped because of the avalanche. Hopefully,
もう事故
not
っ
for
てる。
too long.
いけない。何もないか。 別に何も足があるぐらいか。おはようございます。
Good morning, Monsieur Michel.
Good morning, sir. Please enjoy our special breakfast in our restaurant.
朝ごはん楽しみですね。ない。バーラウンジ。
This delay is intolerable. I am supposed to be demonstrating the Firenze in Paris in 2 days.
Ah, your electric car. Yes, that's bad luck.
Bad luck? If I miss that demonstration, I'll be in deep trouble.
Just text your people in Paris and warn them.
Of course I tried that, but there is no network service in these mountains.
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit on the train until I got to Paris. And now we may be here for days, and my boat sails the day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even send an email to cancel it. Ah, I'm just too mad to talk about it.
My colleagues were to meet me in Paris. They will wonder what has happened to me. I can get no words to them. What will they think? We have refugees to help.
Good morning, madam.
Madame.
The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to
Russian.
me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it, I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
Piano.
A beautiful piano. What a luxury. Pity there's no one to play it. Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc, but that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauchet. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving. As if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin, triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
Omelette. 足。足の上で止まってる。うん。こういうところも調べた方がいいのかな。どうなんだろう。いや、わかんないな。
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc, asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
朝ごはん食べようと思ったの
Look
に。
here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course. But you obviously have some influence with Boog.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
国道に行くは終わって、ブークに会いに行く。ご飯食べたい。朝ごはん食べさせてくれないの？スープ美味しそう。いけない。いけると思ったんだけど。いけないんか。せっかく来たのにまた戻るの。もう、ご飯を食べさせてくれ。
Ah, my good friend. Come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed. Stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American. A man called Ratchet. It was his valet, Masterman, who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. The Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Book, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept, then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
何が起こったか把握するために犯罪現場を分析する必要がある。17。
Good. We are all at your service. This is the room right here.
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please, if you need any help, I won't be far away.
Et voilà.
Voilà.アリバイを調べないと。 や
Thank you for your help, Doctor.
いや、一旦、これですか。
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone else.
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Book. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this. Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed. Conditions are not perfect.
Where can the killer have gone? The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window.
足跡ない。
This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side.
ああ、開かない。番号が必要。ちょ。睡眠薬。
A box of sleeping pills. I'll take photos.
なんだこれ。なんか、猫。
I wonder what could be in this photo.
猫みたいなのが。
I wonder what could be in this photo. The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room.
Okay.
The watch is broken. The hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred.
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you.
I'll take photos. Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready, yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police. This phone was deliberately smashed. I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside.
なんだ。バナナ
Did it belong to Ratchet? A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it.
Don't. わかんないんだよな、番号が。これ多分こっちじゃん。これは多分こう。猫ちゃんっぽいよね。これは簡単やな。デイジーのために。
For Daisy. Interesting. That's the right answer.
黒のピースを組ませることで写真の裏にメッセージが書かれている。これを発見したデイジーのため。デイジーって誰だ？これは犯人が一番可能性が高いのは何だろう？犯人部屋から出ていった方法として最もこれとこれかな？
I must admit I'm not right this time.
部屋から出た方法として最も可能性の高い方法を暴く要素。さあ、これとで欠勤がかかってなかった。あったため、犯人は電気室ドアから出すことが可能だ。
No, no, no.
違うの。
Not good.
これじゃないよな。違う。
I do not think that's the right answer. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I must admit I'm not right this time.
2つ選択。あ、そういうことね。おそらく犯人は次の駅に到着した際に元から逃げようとしたのだろう。しかし列車が次の駅に着くことはなかった。
So, the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room.
I'm right again.
逃走の目撃者。兄が部屋を出るところを目撃した可能性のある2人の人物とは誰だろう。この人とこの人。
That's the right answer.
あ、権蔵さん、こんにちは。ミシェル氏は一等車の廊下を見ていた。彼に上昇した方が良さそうだ。ハーバード夫人を上昇する。ラチェットと部屋が隣にあるハーバード夫人に事情を伺おう。204号室。にゃん。
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
どういうこと？なんかの推理ゲームですか？これ、オリエント急行殺人事件っていう。知らないですかね？有名な小説だ？小説っていうのかな？あと4つもあんの？あと4つもあんの？これ、あとこれか。なんか小説かな？なんか映画にもなったし、ドラマでもあったし、感じ。アリスは1000本の花が咲く森を歩いていました。彼女はブーケを作るために花を10本摘みました。突然ブーケが蝶に変身し、地面の花が増殖し始めました。花の本数は2倍になりました。アリスは扉の前に到着しましたが、扉にはこうありました。森から出たいのなら、森に残っている花の数を数えて私に教えなさい。
Not exactly the reading material one would expect of a man like Ratchet.
うさぎさん。ってことは、1000本から10本なくしたら900本。地面の花が増殖し始めて、花の本数は2倍になりました。900×2 ってこと？ 2 倍だから違うか。1010。あ、900じゃない、990か。で、花の本数が、地面の花咲いてる花でいいのかな？を2倍にしたらいいの？1980かな。 8980。あ、いた。札束や。
Not very surprising. Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep.
なんて書いてあるかわかんないんだけど、英語で。
A meeting place.
IW.
On the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials AW.
AW。鉄の手紙。なんだ書いてあるの？誰かが傷つくたびにお前も同じ苦しみを味わう。お前の死は近い。我々は決して忘れない。我々。複数人なのかしら。殺人事件の夜に起こった出来事の解明に役立つ要素を2つ選択しろ。
I must admit,
ちゃうらしい。
not right this time.
殺人があったより睡眠薬を飲んでいた。こういうところじゃないの？
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer.
あ、これとこれか。警官士を持っていた。だけど経緯を語らないようしたが睡眠薬を飲んだ。
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
確かに。
That was easy.
ラフチェットの下で働いていた2人の人物は、この人と、この人？
I'm right again. That.
この人と、この人。103と102。
I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I am counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
よろしく頼むよ。
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced. Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
で、どうすんの？事情聴取に行けばいいの？あ、私が取りに行くのこれ。私が取りに行く的な。
Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais.
Calais?
I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
カナダ人？管理者。
I do
Eh?
not think that's the right answer.
召使いじゃないよね。
This is wrong. But I'm never far
管
from
理
the
者の
truth.
カナダ人じゃない。フランス人？フランス人なんだ。
That's the right answer.
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
いやー、名前だけじゃわからない。誰が誰だか。
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No. Tobacco only.
タバコオンリ
I
ー。
would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hubbard. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
覚えられないな。
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
何だったっけ？なんか言ってたな。覚えてないな。覚えてないよ。何だったっけ？ れは、ここよな、多分。朝まで持ち場に収まるっていうから。ラチェットが見印を呼び出す。これが、ここもう一回聞いていい？もう一回聞きたい。
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car.
1時15
I came
分
back
頃
later,
に
there was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hobart. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
1時15分。テックメイキングして、呼び出されたって言ってたな。じゃあ、こっちか。ん？待って。覚えらんないわ。
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last. Monsieur Ratchet.
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur, and then his secretary.
And that is the last time you...
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell. I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
ここで、呼び鈴。戻るこれ。あ、戻っちゃうんか。
Where were you?
I was sitting on my little seat.
Are you sure?
I left. I came back later.
Indeed.
It was the American. She thought she saw a man. Then around 1:50 a.m., I made the... He had spent the evening. At 2 a.m., I returned.
What is the...
Linkowski. We left at 12:10 a.m.
Are you a...
Indeed.
Do you...
No.
Monsieur Ratchet.
Almost.
Did anybody...
His valet. And then he said...
And that is...
No, monsieur. I then left to answer...
Where were you?
I was sitting on my...
Are you sure?
I left a little after. I came back later. There was a...
Indeed.
It was the American. She thought she saw a man. Then around 1:50 a.m., he had spent the evening. At 2 a.m., I...
これ、こう。あ、違う。違う。ここで、これか？ああ、覚えらんないよ。
My little gray cells.
で、あと、ハーバード夫人を事情聴取。あれか。 103号室。103号室ってどこだ？バーガーラウンジだから向こうか。103。
Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe. May I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk. I have a terrible toothache.
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps...
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils.
See
If you
you?
can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you. By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy. The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. Ah, this old scale will do the job. To start, I must first arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest.
No, これか。これとこれはこっちの方が軽いんか。これが一番軽いな。緑は次に重かったよな。じゃあ、黒が、これが次に軽い。これが軽い。
Now that I know the order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil.
何で、ここからどうするの
I don't think this is the remedy.
ほば 18g。
Here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy. Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Ah, well, I can finally speak without too much pain.
そんなすぐ聞
I'm
く
ready
の
to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
何人だったっけこの人。アメリカ人って言ってたな。 Capybara.
At what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around
Monsieur
9
Goro.
p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room, Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes, my roommate's snoring.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Tell me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months. I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
Forgive me, I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so, along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
なんかこの中で S が含まれている文章だよ。念入りに頼まれた。
Monsieur, I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? And even asked for my help to watch over him? I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills, but didn't plan to drink them for some reason?
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil.
都合のいい虫歯ですな。で、次は誰だったかな？誰だったっけ？この人か。ラジェットの秘書。はい、102。隣か。102だからこっちか。
I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an antiques dealer. I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life. But I think Ratchet wasn't his real name. And he left the United States to run away from something. Or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters. Threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Mikovsky. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story with Captain Arbuthnot.
I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course. Here it is.
死の時だけ
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, he hated the smell of smoke.
で、次がこの人か。ハーバード夫人出張者。204。204。204。ここか。
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God! I knew it! I knew it!
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must.
何人だったっけ？何人だったかな？管理者？
No, not good.
アメリカ人だったっけ？
Think, Poirot, that is not a good idea.
ドイツ人？
I do not think that's the right.
カナダ人で主婦？
This is wrong. But I'm... My little gray cells did...
Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express. The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail.
違えた。チェックにならないんだけど。
This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side.
見つけた。やったー。
Aha! Golden mustache.
わからんな。話してからなのかな。
Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. Come in, I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet.
It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive.
Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. I have not finished inspecting your room. If you don't mind.
これわかんないんだけど。あ。ん
Let's see if Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door. This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag. I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Hubbard.
Mrs. Abard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olsen to check if it was closed.
Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course. I have an excellent memory.
Mrs. Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position, or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her.
Thank you for your assistance, madame.
De?これ。どうやって目印からの目撃を物書いたのか、セルスで見比べて要素を2つ選択。
This is wrong. But I'm never far from the truth.
間違えた。これと、これか。
I do not think that's the right answer. While Monsieur Michel was chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen. That's the right answer.
Eh? わからん。え？誰だっけ？誰だっけ？あれ？どこだったっけ？あれ。 。乗車の、これじゃない。あれどこ行ったあれあれさっきリストはどうやって見るのあれ。この人に話しかけないと見えないんかな。あ、これか。誰だったっけ。名前忘れちゃった。なんか、鍵をかけたかどうかみたいな言ってた人。
Madame.
The murderer was. I pressed. I heard footsteps come in. And what?
You.
How do I? I told them. I asked him. I told him.
No, これじゃないの。これか。
How is it?
Well, I had. Well, as a matter, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you?
I was already in bed. I couldn't.
What time?
Oh, it must. She'd come. I told her.
The same could.
It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be.
オールソン。オールソン。オールソン。104。向こうか104ね。とりあえずこの人に話しかけるか。よいしょ。
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
じゃあ、あれかな。バーテンダーも一緒なのかな。とりあえず104行くか。104号室。あ、いない。あ、この人か。とりあえず。バーテンダー。かなってさ、あそこ部屋と部屋がつながるのかちょっとよくわかんないんだけど、つながるようにできてんのか。あ、話しかけられないんだ。
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I will report to you as soon as I can.
さっきなんかあったよな。あった。見せる嫉妬の遭遇から興味深い要素2つ。ん なんだろう。ミッシェル氏の遭遇から興味深い要素を2つ選択する。なんだろう。なんだろうな。でもフランス語で話してたって言ったよな。なんだろう。
Think,
Ciao.
Poirot. That is not a good answer. I must admit I'm not right this time.
なんか言ってたっけ？あ、間違えた。
The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. That's the right answer.
あとはまあその前には死んでたってことかな。37分。最も風の際、仮説はどのものだろう。ラチェットは生命力を飲む。犯人はラチェットの部屋を入る。犯人は銃でラチェットを殺し。これ違うね。これか？
I'm right again.
ね、これなんか、やったらなんかあれなんかな。話変わっちゃったりとかすんのかな。 となんかあったっけ？いや。自分の部屋だもんな。なんか102？ あ、この人か。他になんかあるかな。この人たちに話しかけられるわけでもないし。
You can never have too many of these.
どこに何もない。なんかもうちょっとなんかないの？あ、これか。ずっとに情報を報告する。
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us. On the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
I use my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out.
The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105.
Miss, can you hear me? She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
Schmidt.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
A cup of tea with white residue
Semi
at the
aku.
bottom.
Ah, 出た。無理や。こっちか。あ、
A briefcase and a wagon-lee conductor's jacket. And the button is missing.
ここ無理じゃない？番号わかんないよ。番号わかんないよ、これ。どうすんの？まだ1分、4分の 1？ あとなんかある？なぜか。わかんないよ、これ。あ、
Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. Have you tried 0000? Have you tried 1,
うるさい
2,
な。
3, 4? So, Poirot, any luck so far? If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. We really need to find the combination. Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now. But of course you know what
う
you're
る
doing.
さいな。
It
うる
is
さいな。
booby-trapped, is it?
うるさいな。
We really need to find the combination. Have you tried 0000? So, Poirot, any luck so far? Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? If you need a
い
break,
や、うるさ。
I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. Have you
これ
tried
じゃないな。
1,
2じゃないな。
2, 3, 4? But of course you know
これ
what
で
you're
0で
doing.
もないわ。
It is booby-trapped, is it? No, that's mine. I never remember my
うる
password,
さいな。
so I
うる
make
さい
them
な
easy。ones. Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now. No, that's mine.
なん
I
でもな
never
いか。
remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. We really need to find the combination. Have you tried 0000? Poirot,
え、
I'm
わかんないな。
disappointed
今
in
どっち
you.
だろ
I was certain you would have it by now. But of course you know what
う。
you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? So, Poirot, any luck so far? If you
Yeah.
need a break,
あっちじゃないの。
I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. Poirot,
え、どれだ。
what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I...
Book, silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet now. You need to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book, there will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment.
こうやってこういうこともできたのね。え、無理や。あ、これだ。これだ。これだ。開いたー。
She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot.
But then why take it on the train?
Her driver's license confirms her
American.
identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain.
あ、これ、さっきの、
The stuffed animal is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Locke appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet.
Mademoiselle Locke seems very interested in our victim.
Of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly.
うーん。
This badge says that Joanna
Yes.
Locke is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh,
うん。
look, she's waking up.
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Locke, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Locke.
H さん。
I'm a detective. Berkshire, Massachusetts police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
殺人事件。
I had just been promoted to detective after 5 years on patrol. It was my first time on a major case. It had been a month since Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped. The Armstrongs were desperate for some sign of hope. I was there only for paperwork, to fill in some blanks.
Daisy Strong。あ、今度はあの女の人の視点になるの？どうやって見るこれ。
The investigation is now part of a pile of investigations, and my captain sent me here just to dot some I's and cross some T's.
デイジー・アームストロング3歳の少女、ジョン・アームストロングとソニア・アームストロングの娘。被害者は2019年2月24日の夜に誘拐された。誘拐は社交パーティーが開催されていたアームストロング邸で発生した。デイジーの子守であるミス・モローは午前10時45分頃にデイジーがいなくなったことに気づいた。
The crime was audacious. How could the kidnapper know which was the window of Daisy's room? No, they could use a ladder to reach it, and no, they could enter the room without being seen.
子供の寝室の窓の外にははしごが見つかった。これはデイジーを家から連れ出すために使われたものだ。普段は内側から施錠されている窓が開いている状態で発見された。家の近くの森の中で四輪駆動車のタイヤ痕が見つかった。四輪駆動車を運転していたパーティー客はいない。
The misspellings are clearly on purpose, and they didn't return the child when the ransom was paid.
読めないけど、2019年3月1日、法執行機関の手続きが整った後に、アームストロング家は身代金の要求指示に従って100万ドルの身代金を支払った。その後、誘拐犯から連絡はなく、デイジーも帰ってきていない。捜査は現在も継続している。
How could the child be taken with so many people in the house?
ジョン・アームストロング、年齢38歳、イギリス軍大役大使。我々は地元の博物館の資金集めのために交流会を開いていました。人がたくさんいて、一部には全く顔を知らない人もおりました。我々は皆荒正しくしておりました。するとデイジーの子守であるスザンヌの叫び声が聞こえてきたのです。午前10時45分か午前10時50分頃だったはずです。妻と私は2階のデイジーの部屋に行きました。スザンヌはひどく興奮して叫んでおりました。デイジーはベッドにはおらず、枕元には身代金を要求する手紙が置いていたのです。
I can't imagine the pain her parents felt when they realized Daisy was gone. How are they going to feel when they realize I have no answers for them? Only more questions.
ソニア・アームストロング32歳、無職。最後にデイジーを見たのは午前10時半ごろ部屋に様子を見に行った時でした。スザンヌがいないことに気づきましたが、デイジーはすやすやと眠っていました。私は10分ほどあの子のそばにいました。スザンヌがすぐに戻ってくるだろうと思い、私はパーティーに戻りました。
That's why I'm here. A damn computer glitch. Or somebody pushed delete instead of save. Whatever happened, we lost the nanny's deposition. So my entire contribution to the investigation is to take it again.
名前もないんだ。重り、コンピューター入力エラー、供述の再詳細は必要。
The phone record of the night of the kidnapping. The last call was for 911.
誘拐当時のアームストロング夫妻とミズ・モローの通話記録。10時23分から26分。
A topographical map. Often more important than a road map in these mountains.
Well, こんな時間5時半か。あと、担当っておかしいな。この人になったところで、今日はこの辺で終わりにしようかしらね。とりあえずセーブしてと。いやー、あんま覚えてないが、こんな感じだったっけな。こんな事件あったっけな。全然覚えてないけど。また、ちょっと若干違うのかもね。ストーリー的な問題だと。ということで、今日はこの辺で終わりたいと思います。お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。ちょっと待って。タイトルに戻ってからか。お疲れ様です。